All right, welcome everyone. Today's webinar, I'm going to try and keep it a little shorter than the usual webinars. I'm basically just going to be going through the data on this Facebook ads case study. So I'm going to also talk about some of the challenges and successes I had over the last few weeks since I've set up the first part. Part 1 is available inside the Powerhouse Affiliate Premium Members area in the webinars section, and there will be a part 3 to this, but I wanted to give an update on the data and what's been going on with the White Hat Diet campaign. So there's going to be some interesting information in this presentation, and I'll try and keep it quick so that we can get back to work. And then in another week or two, there will be a part 3 again live where you can ask questions and participate in the conversation if you want. And hopefully we'll have some even more data at that point to show you some of the aspects of what you need to consider when, or at least what I'm considering when I set up my Facebook affiliate campaigns. So with all that being said, let's go right into it. I just wanted to mention also that we are working on many other campaigns in behind the scenes. So it may look like some of the information here, well, once you see some of the information and some of the data, it's not exactly as much data as I would have liked to have had, but it's still plenty of data to show you the parts of this campaign that are going to work. So first of all, I want to just again say the disclaimer that this is the way I do it. Facebook is a beast again, and there's always different things happening. People do it differently. There are different objectives that people have. So this is just one strategy. I am an affiliate marketer, and I'm showing you exactly what I'm doing behind the scenes when I set up affiliate marketing campaigns on Facebook without breaking the rules. So again, you can lose or win big with Facebook traffic, and this is just one strategy on how to do it and build yourself an email list at the same time so that you have a long-term game plan. A lot of our training inside Powerhouse is about building a long-term affiliate marketing business, and to do that, you need to collect emails and you need to build yourself a list and a following in your niche, whatever niche it is you choose. So I'm going to show you more about this and how we've done that over the last couple of weeks on this campaign. So in the last presentation, I'm not going to go over this too much, but we already talked about this, and the math was, and the strategy was, we were going to build a lead gen page, send the traffic to a tripwire page, and then do the email sequence, which we have done and we've set up, and I'm going to show you the data on that in this presentation. We had also talked about the target cost per lead. I wanted to get a $3.60 lead cost, and you're going to see that I was actually able to achieve a much cheaper cost per lead. So that is great, and that is good news for this campaign, because I was actually able to get really low cost leads compared to what I wanted. I'm going to show you that in a minute and how I did it. The tripwire, we wanted a 2% conversion rate on 100 visits. So far, I'm going to show you some of the challenges we had with the offer itself, and I'll go through that in the coming slides. And I'll talk about what happened and how we're going to fix that, or actually how we did fix it, and I'll show you that shortly. So we wanted $160 in revenue for 100 leads. And the other target we wanted was a subscriber value of $2 for email 1 through 5. And I'm going to show you some of the data there as well. But like I said, we didn't actually hit 100 leads because of some of the challenges, but the cost per lead, I think we have about 60 leads so far, and I'm going to show you where we got so far and what we're going to do to change that so that in the next presentation, there will be many more leads and more money spent. So let's get into that now and talk about the actual data. So this is just an overview of what I did. Like I said in the last presentation, we talked about a squeeze page. We talked about the tripwire. This last presentation, part 1, is in the Powerhouse Affiliate Premium Members area. Simply log in and go to the webinars section. You can see part 1 where I set up the squeeze page, the tripwire, the autoresponder, which I'm going to get into a little more because we have a lot of messages built in now, as well as the Facebook page. Total test budget was $400. So far, I think we're around $125 spent. I wanted to have $400 spent here, but I'm going to show you some of the challenges again in a few minutes. 10 ad sets. We actually have only 5 ad sets at this point. The goal was 10. I'll show you that as well. So we have 5 ad sets currently running, and I'll show you those. And the total initial test time was 8 days. We're actually over 2 weeks now. And again, this is because we are very busy doing other things as well. And sometimes just, you know, the time gets spread out a little too thin. So we have other campaigns running, but trust me, we are going to finish this campaign, and I'm pretty confident it's going to be very profitable and a long-term campaign that I'll actually manage over time and build a large diet list in it just by looking at the current data that we have. So moving on, let's actually talk about the data, because that is the purpose of this webinar today. So let's first look at the Facebook ad sets and the ads, okay? And then I'll talk a little bit about what I'm going to be doing next. I'm also going to go through the landing page data and the clicks to the offer itself, the CPA offer we're running here, as well as I'm going to show you some of the email opens and clicks that we've got so far, showing you that really it's very easy to see that with a little more persistence and a little more dedication and a little more spend, we're going to get some serious potential in this campaign, where it's actually really exciting to see, because I think there's going to be a lot of conversions in the future. So here we go. And then I'll show you some of the information about Google Analytics and Google AdSense. So these are the 5 things I'm going to show you that I have to always look at when I'm building a campaign like this. Now, again, other people are different. They may not get into as much detail, or they may get into more detail, but this is the way I'm doing it, and I will get into it now. So let's get up the Facebook Ads Manager here. Okay, so here is the Ads Manager with the 5 ad sets. And if you have any questions, please type them in the chat over on the right side. Bill will be monitoring those as I speak. And if there's any questions, please ask. Okay, so as you can see here, the first thing I'm looking at right now is my cost per result. I want to see which ad sets are actually coming close to my goal here. So this is really exciting here, where I'm seeing this one here at 172 and 153 per lead. So what I've done is I've actually set up 5 ad sets, and all of them have different targeting. So I've got the ad set name here. This one is women 35 to 55 broad, which means basically all of the USA, and it is no targeting, basically just the women 35 to 55. And as you can see, the cost per lead so far is $7.88, but I've only spent $7.88. I literally just set this one up 2 days ago. So it's not really a lot of data to go by, but looking at it, I should have a couple leads by now, and it's not really exciting to see this number here. So I'm going to keep a close eye on it, but I'm going to let it go another day. And again, I'm doing the $5 bid strategy here that I was talking about in the last presentation. You can set that higher or lower, obviously. You can go as high as you want, but the lower you go, the less data, obviously. Then you have to be more patient, and then you have to wait more days to get more data. So this is over the last 30 days, but it's really technically over the last 14 days since the last presentation. And as you can see, I spent 129. So this one here, I would likely pause tomorrow. This one is the 222 per lead, and that's close. So I'm going to let that go because it's still under what I've predicted as my target, which is $3.60. So I'm going to let these ones run a little more for more data. And these higher ones, I'm going to pause, and I'm going to set up more ad sets based on what I've done over here. So I want to talk about this one here, the 172, because what I had done is I went through this one, I believe, which is the USA women 35 to 44, and I targeted the English language. And as you can see, it's still very broad, but the age range was 10 years younger on the top end of this ad set. So I went from 35 to 44 English, and my cost per lead, it's the exact same ad as what's in here, but the cost per lead went down to 153. And just as a disclaimer here, obviously the amount spent here isn't massive. So the data, the more money you spend, the more data you have. But really, at this cost per lead, it's actually a very good indicator to me that this is a successful ad set, and it's going to work if I, slowly raise this daily budget over the coming days. So if I wanted to pause this one and raise this one, then I'm going to still allocate the same budget. So I can turn this one up to $10 and turn this one off, and that'll still spend the same amount of budget that I want to spend. So it is something I will actually highly consider probably tomorrow once I have a little bit more data on this one. So let's go into this one, because what I did was with this one, like I said, I had actually created this one based on the data I found in this one. And that was, I found that in this one, the placement itself was really converting well on the suggested video placement. So when I created this, this one here, I basically targeted only the suggested video placement. And as you can see, I was able to, again, achieve a nice cost per lead. So to do that, let me just go into that ad set quickly here. And I'll show you the ad too. So here, I've clicked on the ad set. I'm just going to click on the edit feature here and show you some of the targeting that I've set up on this. So coming in here, as you can see, I set it up for the lead objective. In the last presentation, I talked about why I chose the lead objective. I find it's a great one to start with, but some people like to start with the traffic objective, but I really like to measure my results immediately. And so I've got here, as you can see, United States, 35 to 55, all genders. For some reason, actually, I thought it was all women. So that's even more interesting, to be honest. I made a mistake there. I said women, but I actually have it set as all genders, which is, I should probably just change that now while I'm here. All genders. I'll update that. Now, but what is actually important here is the placement, and it should be edit placements. And as you can see, I have it in the feeds only under suggested videos, and everything else is off. So that is, I think, the reason why this one is doing so well, because I've got it in the suggested video placement, and it seems to be converting in that placement. So actually, I'll just close this. Oh, it's saving there. 1 second. And I'll show you the ad, because I did a video ad for this placement here. So let's look at that. So as I open up the ad here, what I've done is I've actually set up this ad, and every ad I've set up now onto this campaign for some reason is getting flagged. And I talked about that a little earlier, and every time it's almost like an automatic flag, which is why I've had some challenges with this campaign, because every time I set up the ad, I have to go through support and appeal the ad. So I think there's just a glitch going on here, but Facebook can sometimes do that. They'll just automatically ban a URL or something like that. And then you have to keep fighting for them to change it. And for some reason, they just keep auto denying it. So it takes me 24 hours to 48 hours just to get a new ad up. But here's the ad itself. As you can see, it's pretty clean. It's white hat. There's nothing really shady about it. I'm not saying they're going to lose any weight. I'm not guaranteeing any, false suggestions here. All it is a video, really, of somebody barbecuing. Actually, it starts out. This is the video, the 3-minute video, and it talks about. It actually to result in more weight loss. It goes on for 3 minutes about this keto diet. So it's actually working well. So people are watching the video, and then they're signing up. So I've actually made this video. I got it from a PLR product that I mentioned, I think, in the last presentation. I bought the Keto PLR, which is public label rights. I got a video. I updated it with a logo here. And I just put the free challenge here. So when they come, they go to my squeeze page, which was the next section. I'm going to show you the results of those pages that I've created. But I'm not quite done here on this. I just wanted to show a couple more things on the Facebook side. So that was the video ad placement. So that's probably where I'm going to go with this campaign, is a lot more video ads, because I've actually done a lot of spying as well on this campaign, and it appears that a lot of other people diet related are doing a diet video. Now I did set up one here, as you can see, This is the one that's costing me $7.88 per lead. And this is actually the images ads that I've created, which it could be, and it's probably most likely the reason why it's not getting the same kind of cost per lead. So as you can see, it's still a nice ad, has the image, same headline and everything, except a little different wording, but there's no video, and this is the higher cost per lead. So it could very well be that the image ads are causing the problem, or the placement itself. However, it's still a little too early to tell, and I could probably dig deeper, which I'll show you how I would do that. And I would go into the ad set itself, and then I can do a breakdown here, and I can go by delivery, and I can start to see the placement and the device and a whole bunch of other information here. I don't have time to go through all of that. I don't want to bore you with all of this data, but there's so much data you can get here. But if we want to just kind of look at the placement and device for now, there's a lot of good intel in here. You can see that I've spent on this ad set in particular, and it's not a really good example because it's only spent $7. So $5 of that was actually spent on Android, on the mobile feed. I did get a 16-cent lead on Android tablet, right? So let's look at a better one with more data. There's 10 leads in this one, and 6 of them, oh wait, no, 8 of them here, it's on Android smartphone. So the Android leads are clearly a little cheaper. So if I wanted, I could target my next ad set. I would target my next ad set on Android itself and maybe get some really cheap results. Let's go down a little further. So this one here at 162 per lead, again, Android. So there's a clear, there's a lot of data here showing that maybe Android is where I want to focus a little bit more. But now there's really the driving question right now is, where are the conversions actually going to happen? And currently there are no conversions on the CPA offer, and I'll show you basically why that happened. Again, here at 128, Android again on the next ad set. So clearly on this one, I will focus my next ad set just on Android. Okay, so if you have any questions right now about Facebook that you want me to answer, please post them. I'm going to move on to the next section showing you some data on the landing pages. So let's go to the landing pages now. I actually used CPV Lab for this. So here's the data so far. What I have here showing is the 56 subscribers, which is pretty close to what Facebook has reported over the time. 59 in Facebook, 56 in CPV Lab. I don't usually generally concern myself too much with the discrepancies here, ever. It's just not worth your time to try and figure out why it's off by 3 leads. So let's go down. And what you'll see here, what I'm basically looking at, so right here on the conversions, obviously there's nothing yet. Now the reason for this is because actually just yesterday or the day before, I had found out the CPA offer itself on the CPA network I was running it on, the offer was paused and no one was notified. So the offer was actually going nowhere. And I had about 25 clicks, or actually more, probably about 35 of those people, or 30 or so. Anyway, there was a bunch of clicks to the offer that were basically going to dead thin air. So the actual offer wasn't working. So I contacted the affiliate manager, and I actually switched to a different CPA network on a different offer. So I'm currently running a different offer, which was a direct offer that we had inside Vault Media. So anyway, on that note, we have a new CPA offer running right now, and there's only been, I think today, so yesterday's stats here, basically only 2 clicks to the offer so far. So only really, since I started, there's only been 2 real clicks to the CPA offer, unfortunately, because there was no notice sent to me telling me that the offer wasn't working. And obviously I wasn't spending, like, if I was spending a lot of money on this and I really, was paying attention, I should have caught that the first day I ran the offer. I tested it the first day, it was alive, and then the next day it probably went dead, right? But since it's just such a low spend, I was just kind of sitting back waiting, one of those kind of campaigns that you don't pay attention to until the time comes. And then when the time came for me to look at the data, the offer was dead. So that is what happened. But that's just the challenges I guess you need to face when you're an affiliate or a CPA affiliate. Offers pause all the time. So you just got to keep your eyes open and make sure. So I found a more stable offer, same payout, but now we're going to be waiting. That's why there's going to be a part 3. And I'm going to show you more data with hundreds and hundreds of clicks, because I've got all my ads set up now and everything took a lot of time to set up. So with that being said, let's look at the data that I'm going to be looking at here for the landing pages. So there's 2 pages. There's the front page. So this is the opt-in page here. Now look at the data here. This is clearly something that I need to fix immediately, okay? You have a page here, page 1, that is running 70 visitors and it got 19 subscribers, but 1 landing page click. I don't know what is happening there, but I'm guessing the message between the front page opt-in, I'm getting the subscriber, but not nearly as well as the other page here. So it's almost a double subscriber rate. So the message on this page 1 is not matching Facebook. And at the same time, the message on page 1 is not matching the offer. I'm not getting any click-throughs. So this page is clearly a losing page. So let's look at what page 2 and why page 1 is not as good as page 2. And let's pull those pages up quickly so you can see the 2 pages. So I've got those pages set up here, 50-50, and I'm clearly going to turn this one off. This is the page. One of these I'll be turning off. But anyway, let's just put them up there so you can see the 2 pages I'm talking about. And this is the other opt-in that we have. So it's kind of a big difference here. This is the one that's not working, and this is the one that is working. You can see that we have free 25-day keto challenge. I just want to make sure I'm right here. So the one was the one that's not working, I believe. Let's just make sure. Level 1, front page. Yeah, so page 1 is clearly a loser, which is this one. The colors are not the same. We have pretty much, all the same info, but this one is a different headline over here. So have you been struggling to get healthy? And I think this is a big thing, is the headline. Have you been struggling to get healthy? Likely everybody that I'm targeting is struggling to get healthy. And that is where I've hit them right there with that line. And I believe that is why this one's doing so much better, because I still have a free 25-day keto challenge, but the headline here and the color scheme has clearly made a huge difference, okay? Because look, the bottom of the page is all the same. The only thing different is up here. So this...
You stop for 1 sec.
Sure.
Yeah, so we have a question here. Hi, Joey. I would like a little clarification on what ad sets and ads mean. Also, you always talk about split testing A and B. What is A and what is B? That should be tested. Sorry if I sound silly, but this is all new.
Okay, yeah, sure. So the ads and ad sets. The ad sets are what I'm talking about here inside Facebook. So this is the Facebook Ads Manager. And when I create a campaign, it starts you by creating your campaign first here, okay? So you name it and all that stuff. So when you create a campaign, you'll see here, I choose my objective. And then once I choose my objective, which in this case, I've chosen conversions, okay? So I've set up the conversions campaign and I hit continue. At that point is where I come into creating the ad sets. So these are sets of ads, all with the same targeting, okay? So let's say I want to, again, so I'm going to select my pixel here that I've set up. in this ad set setting for my campaign, this is where I choose, United States, age 34 to 55, women. I can choose some targets if I want. I can choose, keto diet, whatever it is I want to do here. I can choose broad, so I would just put nothing. This is the ad set settings, okay? So I'm coming down, and here I can edit the placements and all that kind of stuff. If I want, I can turn everything off, and I can select just the in-stream videos if I'm running a video, or I can just wait and run everything. And at that point, I would run everything first and see where everything's happening, where the conversions are happening, and then I can come back in and either pause this ad set or create a new ad set in the same campaign. Sorry, Bill.
It's looking like we're having some technical difficulties. I'm not sure if you're still on air.
Okay, so again, I'm back on the ad set here. Here we are, and once you've set up your ad set settings, you simply hit continue, and now here's where you're going to create your ads, and you can name your ads here. So I'm going to come out of here and show you again, just quickly, the difference. So once you set up your campaign, here it is. You click on that, then it's going to open the ad sets campaign, ad sets for the one campaign, okay? So you click on this tab and you'll see all those ad sets that I've created inside. Now inside each of these are ads. So if I click on this, it's going to show me the ads inside that ad set. Okay, so that's the difference between a campaign, the ad set, and the ads. So now when I'm split testing, I'm going to be split testing more the landing pages. Inside here, I'm getting all the data updated because I've set up the Facebook pixel to track the conversions on the page after somebody enters their email. So when somebody enters their email on my landing page here, they click here to get access, they enter their email, and they click here, the day one page, which is here. And this is the page they will land on. So on this page, after they've entered their email, this is the sales page or the tripwire page, as I talked about in the last presentation. And on here is also the Facebook pixel telling Facebook that, boom, there was a lead, and they marked the lead here, okay? Or whatever ad that triggered the click. Now I'll be able to see all which ads. So I'm technically split testing these ads, but I'm going by the Facebook data to do that. Now what I'm using the CPV lab for is so that I can split test pages. So I'm split testing landing pages. So when I use my link on Facebook, it's automatically splitting the traffic to each landing page. So I'm sending one here and one here, which again was those two pages that I showed you earlier. And we talked about the headline itself as to why I thought the headline is the reason why that I was getting higher click-throughs. So that split test was the A/B split test between the two pages. And I'll show you those stats again just to go over that once more. These two front pages, level 1 pages, those are the two opt-in pages that I've got set up in this campaign because I've set up what is called a landing page sequence campaign inside CPV Lab Pro, okay? So I was able to set that up, and I can have now my level 1 front page that I've set the two links to. So I created the pages, put them in here. Now I can see which one in my A/B, so I can call it whatever I want. I call it 1, 2. In this case, it could be A/B, whatever you want to call it, A or B or 1 and 2. So in this case, I've called it 1 and 2. Clearly, number 2 or the B page is doing way better. So I need to go in and I need to pause this number 1. So I'm going to do that just to show you what I would do. Coming in here, I'm just going to hit that inactive, and I put this to 100%. So now all of my traffic is going to come to this clear winning page, okay? That is going to drastically drop the cost per lead again inside Facebook, because now all of the traffic is going to a winning squeeze page. Now what I would technically do again is I would create a new page here and split test it again against this one, which I will now call the control page, because now this is technically the best page I've been able to create so far. So I call it my control page. Now, if I want to create a C test or a number 3, I just put number 3 here, and I would enter the URL of whatever page I've just created to split test against the control page. But here, I could set that to 90% of all traffic goes to my control. And now I could start sharing up the amount of traffic, and I would only send 10% of the Facebook traffic to the new test until this new test proves itself a winner. And if it proves itself a winner, then I would again turn this one off and set this one to 90%. And then I would run another add like a number 4, and it would just keep going. I'm constantly testing, okay? So just to get this back to where it was supposed to be, I'm gonna, again, turn on my control for now, and I'm just gonna set it at 100%. Now coming down after the opt-in page, now we're getting into the actual after page, which is where I have the CPA offer set. So I'm gonna come in here, and here we have page number 1, and I have also page number 2, and as you can see, I have both of these running at 50%. This is the tripwire page. This is where I'm trying to make an immediate sale of the supplement. Okay, so now as you can see, when I click on the both, you'll see that it changes a bit. The headline, I always test the headlines, because you could see in the last example that the headline was clearly the big difference. So as you can see, I've got different headlines. Coming down, pretty much everything's the same. This one I've added in a professional image. I think I might have that on this one too. No, I didn't. Okay, so I've got this one over here showing an image, changed a few things on the page, and the call to action might be a little different down at the bottom as well. I've got proof on this page. I've got the clear call to action here, and this one is the same. So basically not a lot of changes. I don't make a lot of changes when I'm split testing because I just want to find little things that are working. So don't make, I mean, sometimes I will make a completely different page just to try something, but at the start, I usually just try a few different little changes. So let's look at the data quickly. Again, on that page 2, let's open the stats on that and see where we're at so far. So after opt-in, landing one, LP1 and LP2, I could call it again, A or B or 1 and 2 or C and D or whatever you want to call it, okay? 38 clicks here. I've got 38 visitors. Okay, so, okay, yeah, so 38 visitors. So basically this is 38 subscribers. So when they subscribed on the front page, I have 38 people that actually now landed on the tripwire, okay? Now of those 38 people, 12 of them clicked to the CPA offer. That's what it's showing me here. So an LP click-through rate of 31%. This is a very important number, the click-through rate to the offer, okay? To me, anything over 30% is good, okay? Especially on this type of page. So both of these pages don't have enough data to really decipher which one is the clear winner. So I'm going to leave both of them running 50% because they both have a landing page click-through rate of 30% or more. Now, if this was 40%, I would obviously turn this one down a bit or make some changes, but they're so close together that there's not enough statistical data to make any rational decision here. But what it's showing me is that 58 people so far on the campaign itself have subscribed to my email list, okay? And of those 58 people, 18 of them have clicked the CPA offer on the tripwire page. So this is good data. So for 100 and whatever I spent, 120 bucks, about $2 a lead so far, obviously this is how a campaign works. You're going to lose money at first to get this data so that you can make changes. And as you can see already in my campaign, there is major changes here that I can make that is going to bring my landing page click-through rate up massively on the front page, which is basically the subscriber rate, so that my cost per lead is now going to be much cheaper. These two pages, I can't really do anything yet. And also the changes on Facebook I'm making are going to drastically, again, reduce the cost per lead. And when we come into the next presentation in a week or two, I'm going to show you, I'm going to be able to get these lead costs down to nearly $1 or less. So I'm really building a list for $1 a lead, and I'm pretty much guaranteed in my brain anyway, that I can make that money back. So let's go back here. And if there's any questions on this, please let me know again in the live chat. So we talked about the clicks to the offer, and that is the click-through rate on my 2 pages here that people subscribe to once they subscribe to my list, they're coming to this page, and now they're clicking one of the links on this page. This link here is the exact same link all the way through this page for the keto supplement. You see, I've got the links everywhere. I'm trying to sell them this formula, okay? I want them to click this link. I want them to go. I want them to buy the supplement. That is my goal, nothing more, nothing less, okay? Boom, there's no other exit. It's all links to the offer itself. And I've got a nice long story about why it works. And I've got these images from the advertiser itself. So I can use these and I can tell the story of this person, okay? So a lot of it is made up, you know. I mean, it's a sales page. It's an advertorial style page technically, or a review, and it's a story about how if you do the keto diet and you implement a keto supplement, it can speed up your results, entering into keto faster, and you know, getting the benefits of that. So now that they're on my list, let's go to Aweber. Okay, so I've got these people on my list now, okay? So this is the beauty of it. So moving on into Aweber. So as you can see, this isn't fake data, and this is the thing is about when I do a presentation like this, I'm not going to give fake data, okay? No one learns by me. You know, I could easily go in and create fake conversions so that you think I'm this genius affiliate marketer. And I could tell you, like gurus do this. They fake the data sometimes, okay? I could show you a screenshot here, and then no one would know the wiser, okay? But here, this is the real data, and that is, you know, by showing you 0 conversions, I'm showing you the reality of this campaign and what you need to face as an affiliate marketer. And there will be conversions, believe me, there will be. And I'm going to show you in a couple weeks, and there will be. And if there's not, I'll tell you why there's not and why I think there's not. But anyway, on that note, here are the subscribers I've got on this 25-day keto challenge list. Now, let's just go past 30 days. So 71. So 71 of these subscribers. So basically almost the same amount as what Facebook is reporting, which was 56. But there's a little more on here because of the fact that probably many people watching this webinar are subscribing to the actual email list to see what I'm doing in the follow-up sequence. If you're not doing that, then I don't know. I mean, if you're trying to learn how to set up email sequences, it's not a bad idea to sign up to people's email lists and see what they're sending anyway. So probably some of these people are subscribers are actually affiliates looking to see what I'm doing, okay? But for the most part, 56 of these people are guaranteed to be either out of shape or they feel like they're unhealthy and they need to find a new way to lose weight. So on that note, you can come in here in Aweber and you can look at reports. And one of the ones I like to look at is clicks, list clicks over time. So on this one here, as you can see, just in the last 14 days or so, 17 days, I've gotten 41 extra clicks to wherever I want to send these people, okay? So I'm getting free traffic, and this is the purpose of building a list, okay? So I've been buying clicks from Facebook, right? But in the grand scheme, I'm getting all this traffic in the back end now that I can automate, okay? I've set up autoresponders. I'll show you those in a second. I'm going to show you also the blog and stuff. But what I'm doing now, I'm actually setting up a long-term business here because I'm setting up the ability to email these people. And as you can see, with the little bit of data I have now, 56 subscribers, I've gotten 41 clicks so far. It's not, these aren't, you know, oh my gosh, this is amazing, I'm going to get rich kind of stuff. But this is stuff that as time goes on and I start to consistently build this list, these numbers are going to have a lot more zeros at the end, okay? There's going to be zeros all the way over here. And I'm going to start getting thousands of clicks every week that is free on my back end, okay? And that is why we build email lists. And that is a long-term affiliate strategy. So when you lose money on the front end to build a list, you can still make all of your money back on the back end. But what I like to do, generally speaking, is I like to not lose money building my list. And that is my main goal, is to make sure that that front tripwire offer right here is paying my Facebook ad spend, okay? So I need to get this converting. And I'm going to be doing that with cheaper leads, more traffic to this page. By buying cheaper leads, I'm going to get more traffic and more possibility of getting people to click on here and buy. And now I have an actual working CPA offer as opposed to the last 2 weeks where the offer was actually paused, and I was a little upset about that. But regardless, I'm confident this is going to work. So now let's just look at the messages. So what I've done is I've actually hired somebody professional to create this, and it's not a lot of money. I spent $250 on this, and this is additional cost to my traffic, okay? But I'm confident in this campaign, so this is why I've done it. So I've hired, actually outsourced somebody to create the email follow-up, and as you can see, here is the email follow-up sequence so far, and I'm actually getting some really nice numbers, in my opinion, on some of these emails. This is the open rate. Now, generally, I like to get over 50% on the first message I send. I'd like to see more like around 60% here on the first message, because this is the first message they get from me. They've signed up to my list. I want them on here, and this is where I'm going to give them another small pitch and give them some value. Okay, I've given them an actual report here, a full report on what keto diet is, building rapport, and all that stuff. Okay, now as we continue through here, I've actually hired also somebody to take care of the blog. So let's just show you here. So this is the same person who's created the blog, who's created my email list. So I've said to him, look, I've got a job for you. I want a 25-day keto challenge, and I want you to send all the people on the email list to the blog. So right now, only on the blog, I'm waiting for AdSense to approve the ad up here and the ad down here. So with AdSense nowadays, you can't just take your AdSense clicks or your AdSense ads and put them on here without getting approval. So I'm just still waiting for AdSense to see enough content on here so they give me the opportunity to put the AdSense on here, which is another way for me to monetize. Let me just pull out my AdSense account for a second here. And this isn't to show off or anything like that, okay? This is to show you the capability of having AdSense on your page. This is my last payment last month was $7,200. Okay, now I did a presentation in September of 2018 where I showed a $10,000 month. Okay, so this fluctuates. Sometimes it's 6,000, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's even more. But 10 is usually generally what I'm aiming for, just with the amount of campaigns I can manage by myself. Okay, now this is residual revenue. This is the blog revenue. This is like the ad up here that's going to eventually appear from AdSense. Is going to be here. There's going to be another one here. This is people coming to my blog because we've sent them an email. Okay, we've sent them an email on this autoresponder, and they're coming to the actual blog itself. I'm going to turn off that notification. So what's happening is over time I'm building residual income, and again, this is proof here. This is my real account. When I click on this notification, my March report, my revenue grew by 13%. Nice job. Thanks, Google. So they're happy. I guess I'm happy too. I'd like this to be higher, but whatever. To me, this is great income from residual traffic on the back end, and this is based on a few campaigns running at the same time. Okay. So this one eventually will be on the list of revenue. Now I'm getting traffic to here, and I'm building revenue here as well. And all of these blog posts, when you click on it, will have that same banner here. And what this is here is another link to the sales page, but in a different fashion. It's a different page altogether. It's got different writing, wording, but again, it's sending them back constantly, trying to get them to buy the keto supplement. Okay? So I've got it all set up, and basically that's what's happening on the back end. So as people, there's still more messages coming. There's actually going to be 25 messages here when he's done. He hasn't finished his job yet, but it's still working. So as you can see, some people haven't even hit message 8 yet. Okay, so due to the sequence that we have set up here, we have it set up every 2 days. Since we started adding people to this message sequence, they're coming into message 8. So he has basically 4 more messages before he has to get message 12 there, so that the messages keep sending to people. But there will be 25 here eventually. By the next presentation, I'm sure we'll have 25 messages here, and people starting to open these later ones because they haven't actually reached that. But what I like to see here is that on the 7th message, this is after 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. This one might be a little long here, 6 days. But anyway, 12 days. After 12 days of being on my list and constantly getting messages, there's 25% of people are still opening, which to me indicates that this is great, okay, because they're staying on. Now this one here is an 8.3, and that to me indicates when I see a high open here and a low here, it means that this headline here is not working. I need to change that so people open the email, because they still want to be on the list, because 25% of them open the message afterwards. Okay, now if I saw constant dwindling of numbers here and this open rate keeps going down and down and down and down, what's happening is the list is getting bored, they're not getting the value, and we need to change it up at the sequence wherever that started to happen and start giving them more value. And now at the same time, I can come in here and at any point in time, I can broadcast to these people with the broadcast and just blast a message out to all of them, which I would do obviously in the future. Once I build this list up higher, now I can go to CPA networks, find diet offers and say, look, I've got email traffic. If you want to let me blast this out to my email list, they might love this offer. I could send out a blast to say 10,000 people, and that day, maybe I want to go away for the weekend. Let's say it's Friday morning. Okay, well, let's do a blast Friday morning. I need some money for this weekend. Boom, let's send out a broadcast and make, $1,000 bucks. Yeah, okay. That's the beauty of an email list, and that's what happens when you have an email list. Sounds great, but you have to set it up. You have to put work in to build that list. Okay, so last, I'm just going to go over a couple things here, and then we're going to call our quits for the day, and then we'll come back and review the data again next week or two. You'll get a notice in your email for premium users. You'll get a notice, and we'll see some conversions, hopefully, and some more information. Let's just look at Google Analytics. I literally just set this up this morning because I forgot to put Google Analytics on there, but let's just kind of hop in there for a second and see what we have, just so I can show you a couple things I'll be looking at over the coming weeks before the next presentation. I'm just going to pull it up here one second. And if there's any questions, please feel free to keep asking. I'll try my best to answer your questions. Okay, so what we've got here is the analytics, and there's currently 2 people on the website right now. This is the live real-time view of 25-day keto challenge. Okay, so I just literally put this on there this morning. So now I can see where people are on the website and what they're doing and how they're engaging. Now there's more information I'm obviously going to be looking at over the coming weeks in terms of acquisition, where my traffic is coming from. I can see where my traffic is coming from. But what I've also set up is some conversions here, and I can look at my goals and see which pages are converting for me. Actually, I haven't set up the goals on this yet. It's funny because I just set this up this morning. But yeah, so I haven't set up my goals. I will set up the goals, and you'll see some more data as we come in. But coming in here, this is literally only a couple hours of data, so there's nothing going to be in here. But the reason why I've set this up is so that we can see over time a whole bunch of information in here about the audience, where they're coming from, how long they stay on the pages, how many people click through what pages. All of this data is in addition to the data that I'm getting inside of my CPV lab campaigns, as well as my Facebook data. So all of this data combined, as well as my Aweber reports, gives me the information to make changes to my campaign, to finally tweak and optimize it to a point where eventually I want to come into Facebook and I want to come into my ad set settings, and I want to set these daily budgets to not $5. I want to put these to $500. Okay, that would be the goal here. You set that to $500, and when you can start doing that kind of stuff for your campaign, because you know the back end is optimized and everything is optimized, then that is how you build massive affiliate businesses online. And the beauty of this setup too, one last thing before we go and set up questions, is that once I have this all set up and everything's optimized and I can prove that there's profitability and that there's a long-term game plan here, there are people out there. I could put this on Flippa as a business and sell it for thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. Okay, that's how much it would be worth over time as I build this. And to show people that it's working, you would need all this data, and people will buy it. And this is how it's generally done. And if you go to Flippa right now and you look up businesses, you're going to see a lot of the businesses are selling for double the revenue that they would generate in a year. So if you're not profit, I'm talking revenue. So if I can show that I generated, $20,000 in revenue off this site, I could easily sell it on Flippa next year for $40,000 if it's profitable. Now, this is just an idea. I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do. That's not my game plan here. My game plan is generally usually just to keep my campaigns running and eventually outsource somebody to just manage it for me. Okay, and that's how this one's being set up. I think I've gone over everything. I've gone over the Google AdSense and why I use it, Google Analytics and why I use that. We talked about all the data. There's so much stuff I could be talking about here, and like I said, that is why I said earlier, there's ways people do it differently, but I believe in what I'm doing, and I think it'll be enough to, I guess, open the eyes for anybody that's interested in this type of business setup. So what's next? Let's talk about that quickly. What I'm going to do on the next presentation, I'm going to report more on the email clicks and open rate data and how many clicks we get to the offer from the Aweber sequence. I'm also going to report on the Google Analytics, the AdSense revenue. Hopefully we'll have some by then because the ads should be approved tomorrow or the day after. I'll also report on the Facebook retargeting campaign, which I haven't really talked about yet. But as that pixel warms up on Facebook, it is getting data on people that are converting into leads. And Facebook has so much data on people that I can turn that data into a new campaign where I'm focusing on people that are similar to the people that have subscribed to my list. And that's what I'm going to get into later on. Once I have more data, more people on my list, I can actually take that list over to Facebook and create an audience based off of that. And I can set a certain percentage in whatever country I want. I'm going to also report more on the $5 a day ad set strategy. I'm going to keep it at $5 per ad set until I'm confident that I can raise them. Now, there are a couple there I will raise over the next coming days. There too. Like I was talking earlier, I will probably pause one and double the budget. So I'll pause one at 5 and turn the one up that I like to 10. So I'm going to be spending more money on that. We're going to see the difference in the cost per lead that generates for me over time. And I'm going to also obviously report on conversions of the actual CPA supplement offer, which we must see some conversions here. For this whole campaign needs a complete workaround. I'm confident that I'm going to get conversions of this supplement. So I'm going to open it up now to questions and answers. I know I've gone over a lot of information. Don't forget, we also have the forum inside. You can always ask in the forum, and I will answer in there, as well as Bill and some other members inside that are active. I highly encourage you to participate in the forum. There are a lot of people in here that don't post openly, but will answer openly, okay? So there are lots of answers in there for people. So, Bill, can you let me know if there's any questions? If not, I can close it down here soon.
We've been pretty much answering most of them on the fly. I'm sure some of you guys have to have questions. There's got to be something. Give it another 10 seconds here and see if anybody pops up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of information in there that could probably spark some questions later, which I said obviously you can go in.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Since your CPA offer was paused, what would you do?
Well, I got a new CPA offer. You want to turn your mic off? Yeah, I actually ended up getting a new CPA offer from a different network. I didn't want to work through the same network that kind of screwed us over on the first one, to be honest. I expected to have a message, at least from my affiliate manager, telling me that the offer was paused. Now, when I reached out to him, he told me, I sent you a message, but I didn't get the message. And so I just I kind of felt a little bitter on that. So I switched to another network to test their offer. So currently I'm running a different offer. But if that happens again, these types of offers, the CPA networks, they're like that is why I choose diet, like niches like diet, for example. There will always be an offer that works for this. Now, if I can get this, running at massive scale, and I start finding that the offer itself is starting to become a problem, and I can't find offers to fill this spot, what's stopping me from creating my own offer? I could do that. like if I have enough traffic to warrant this and I build this to a big business and it's starting to get thousands of clicks a day and I have to keep chasing CPA networks for an offer, which I don't suspect will happen because this is in a niche where this type of offer is so rampant right now. Keto is going to be around forever. It's a type of diet that just doesn't just fade away. There will be offers for this. I don't have to worry about that. But it's not the end of the world is what I'm saying if there's not another offer available. There will always be one available, in my opinion, when you choose niches that are evergreen. Okay, so okay, well, thank you everyone for attending, and again, we'll have another presentation here coming up soon to finalize this case study and show you the conversions, hopefully on the CPA offer, as well as more data on how many leads I'm getting and what the cost per lead is, and more revenue from the website itself. I just want to remind everyone there is an affiliate program for Powerhouse Affiliate. If you are interested in promoting us, please hit us up in support, and we pay recurring revenue to you if you're promoting Powerhouse Affiliate, and we will pay you month to month to month on the same one-time conversion that you get. And so please look into that if you're interested in promoting us. We're always looking for people to support us and spread the word about our training inside Powerhouse Affiliate. Thank you again, and have a great weekend.